My fiancée announced, "My New Year's gift to myself is a separation." Her family stared at me. I finished my champagne. "Congratulations." I stepped away and made one quiet call. As she reached into her coat later that night, the look on her face told her something had changed. I'm 33, been engaged for 9 months, and I just learned that some people mistake kindness for weakness until it's too late to take anything back. We'd been together for 3 years, met through mutual friends at a concert. She was charming, ambitious, the kind of person who lit up a room. I proposed last March at the restaurant where we had our first date. She posted it everywhere, cried happy tears, called her mother immediately from the table. The wedding was set for next May. We'd put deposits down on everything: venue, catering, photographer, band. Her parents insisted on paying for most of it. Traditional family. They wanted their daughter to have the perfect day. Things started changing around October. She became distant, less affectionate, more critical. I'd make dinner and she'd point out what I did wrong. I'd plan a date and she'd find reasons it wasn't good enough. Small things at first, then bigger. "You're not ambitious enough." What does that mean? "You're comfortable. You don't push yourself." "I have a stable career. We're planning a future. What else do you want?" "I don't know. More. More." That word started appearing in every conversation. She wanted more excitement, more success, more everything. I couldn't figure out what had changed. We'd been happy, or I thought we had. 2 weeks before New Year's, I found out she'd been talking to someone from her gym, a guy who owned his own business. Real estate developer, made good money, drove an expensive car. She mentioned him casually at first. "There's this guy at the gym who's been giving me career advice." "That's nice." "Yeah. He's really successful. Built his company from nothing." "Good for him." She started going to the gym more, 5 times a week, then 6. She'd come home energized, talking about her workouts, about the people she met there, about him. I asked her directly, "Are you interested in this guy?" "What? No, he's just a friend. You're being paranoid." "I'm not being paranoid. You talk about him constantly. Because he's interesting. He's accomplished. He's doing things with his life. And I'm not." "I didn't say that. You didn't have to." She got defensive, told me I was insecure, that I didn't trust her, that she was allowed to have friends. I backed off, told myself I was overreacting. Her parents invited us to their New Year's Eve party. Annual tradition, big gathering, family, close friends, neighbors, formal event, champagne at midnight. Her father always made a toast. We drove there together on December 31st. She was quiet in the car. I tried to make conversation. "You okay?" "Fine." "You seem off." "I'm just tired." "We don't have to stay late if you don't want to." "I want to stay. I need to talk to my family about something." "About what?" "Just something. I'll explain later." The party started at 8. Her parents' house was decorated like always. String lights, champagne fountain, catered appetizers, people everywhere. I knew most of them, made the usual small talk. Her mother hugged me, asked about wedding plans. "Everything's on track. Venue confirmed. Just waiting for the RSVPs to come back. I'm so excited. You two are perfect together." I smiled. Didn't feel perfect. Felt like something was breaking that I couldn't fix. My fiancée spent most of the night talking to her sister. They were in the corner having an intense conversation. I caught pieces of it. Her sister looked shocked, kept shaking her head. My fiancée looked determined. At 11:30, her father gathered everyone in the living room. Time for his traditional speech before midnight. He thanked everyone for coming, talked about the year, about family, about looking forward to new beginnings. And of course, we're thrilled about the wedding in May. To my daughter and her wonderful fiancé. Everyone raised their glasses. I raised mine. My fiancée didn't. She was staring at the floor. Her father noticed. "Sweetheart, everything all right?" She looked up, took a breath. "Actually, I need to say something." The room went quiet. Her mother looked concerned. Now? Yes, now. She turned to face everyone. I've been doing a lot of thinking about my life, about what I want, about my future. I felt my stomach drop, knew what was coming before she said it. My New Year's gift to myself is a separation. Her family stared at me. All of them. Like I'd done something. Like this was my fault. I stood there holding my champagne, feeling 30 pairs of eyes on me. I finished the glass in one swallow, set it down carefully, looked at her. Congratulations, her mother gasped. What are you talking about? My fiancée kept her eyes on me. I need space. Time to figure things out. We're postponing the wedding. Postponing or canceling? I don't know yet. Postponing for now. And you decided to announce this at your parents' New Year's party, in front of everyone? I needed to be honest. I couldn't start another year living a lie. A lie. Right. Her father stepped forward. Son, maybe we should talk about this privately. There's nothing to talk about. She's made her decision, in front of all of you, very publicly. I looked at my fiancé. Anything else you want to announce while everyone's here? Don't be like that. Like what? Surprised? Humiliated? Pick one. Her sister tried to intervene. Maybe everyone should just calm down. I'm very calm. I pulled out my phone. Excuse me, I need to make a call. I walked out to the backyard. Cold air hit me like a slap. I dialed my brother. He answered on the second ring. Hey, happy almost New Year. I need you to do something for me. What's wrong? She just announced she wants a separation at her parents' party, in front of everyone. You're kidding. I wish. Listen, remember those papers I had you hold on to? The prenup stuff? Yeah, I need you to file them first thing after the holiday. And I need you to contact our lawyer about the joint accounts. You want to freeze them? I want to protect what's mine. She blindsided me. I'm not giving her the chance to do it financially, too. Got it. I'll handle it. You okay? No, but I will be. I hung up, stood there for a minute, heard the countdown starting inside. 10, 9, 8. Everyone cheering. 7, 6, 5. New Year coming. 4, 3, 2. Everything changing. 1. Fireworks in the distance. I walked back inside. My fiancée was hugging her mother. Her father was opening more champagne. Her sister saw me and looked away. I grabbed my coat from the closet. Where are you going? I looked at my fiancé. Home. You're home now. I'll be out by the weekend. You don't have to leave tonight. Yeah, I do. Can't stay somewhere I'm not wanted. That's not fair. None of this is fair. But it's happening. I pulled on my coat. Enjoy your separation. Hope it's everything you wanted. I walked out, got in my car, drove home, our apartment, not our anymore, just a place I needed to pack up and leave. Update 1, I didn't sleep that night. Sat on the couch until sunrise. Started making lists. What was mine? What was hers? What we'd bought together? How to divide 3 years of a life I thought we were building together. My brother called at 8 a.m. Lawyer's office opens at 9. I'll meet you there. Thanks. You holding up? Barely. The lawyer was someone I'd consulted before we got engaged. I'd wanted a prenup. My fiancé had been offended, said it meant I didn't trust her, didn't believe in us. I'd dropped it to keep the peace, but I'd kept the paperwork, just in case. The lawyer reviewed everything. You're not married yet, so this is simpler than a divorce, but you have joint accounts, joint lease, shared assets. I want to separate everything, immediately. She'll have to agree to that. She announced our separation in front of 50 people. I don't think she'll fight me on splitting assets. Maybe, but women who want separations sometimes change their minds when they realize the financial impact. Then she should have thought of that before humiliating me publicly. We spent 3 hours going through documents, joint checking account, savings account, credit cards in both names, the lease on our apartment, everything. I recommend freezing the joint accounts until you both agree on a split. Do it. When do you want to tell her? Today. She'll figure it out fast enough. I went home, started packing, my clothes, my books, my electronics, personal items, things I'd brought into the relationship. Took me 4 hours to box up my life. Called a moving company. They said they could come Monday morning. My fiancée came home around 6. I was in the bedroom sealing boxes with tape. What are you doing? Packing, like I said. I didn't mean you had to leave immediately. You announced you wanted a separation. I'm giving you what you want. Can we talk about this? What's there to talk about? You made your decision, very publicly. I'm respecting it. She sat on the bed. I know I handled it badly. Badly doesn't cover it. I was nervous. I thought having my family there would make it easier. Easier for who? Not for me. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't undo standing in front of your entire family and announcing you're leaving me. I didn't say I was leaving you. I said I wanted space. Same thing. It's not. I stopped packing. Looked at her. What do you actually want? Because from where I'm standing, you want the freedom to explore other options while keeping me as a backup plan. That's not true. Then what is it? Explain it to me. She hesitated. I've been feeling stuck, like my life isn't going anywhere, like I'm settling. Settling for what? A stable relationship? A planned future? Settling for comfortable when I could have more. There it was again, more. What's more? The guy from the gym? Her face changed, guilty, caught. It's not about him. But he's part of it. He just made me realize I want different things. Like what? Money? Status? What does he have that I don't? Ambition, drive. He's building something. I have a career. I have goals. What am I supposed to be building? I don't know. Something bigger. I went back to packing. You want bigger? Fine. Go get bigger. But don't expect me to wait around while you figure out if the grass is actually greener. I'm not asking you to wait. Good, because I'm not. She watched me pack for another hour. Didn't help. Didn't say anything. Just sat there looking like she wanted to say something but couldn't find the words. When I finished, I stacked the boxes by the door. 14 boxes total. 3 years compressed into cardboard. Movers come Monday. I'll be gone by noon. Where are you going? My brother's, until I find my own place. What about the apartment? Lease is in both our names. I'll talk to the landlord about getting mine off it. You can stay if you want. Or move. I don't care. What about the wedding stuff? The deposits? Contact the vendors. Cancel or postpone. I don't care which. Just leave me out of it. She started crying. I didn't want it to be like this. Then you shouldn't have announced a separation at a New Year's party. I grabbed my overnight bag, headed for the door. Wait, can you at least stay tonight so we can talk? No, there's nothing left to talk about. You wanted space. This is space. I left. Drove to my brother's house. He had the guest room ready, beer in the fridge. Didn't ask questions. Just let me be angry and hurt in peace. Update 2 Monday morning, the movers came at 9. My fiancée wasn't there. She'd left early. Probably couldn't watch me move out. The movers were efficient. Everything packed into the truck in 2 hours. I walked through the empty apartment one last time. Spaces on the walls where pictures had been. Empty closet, bare bathroom counter. Like I'd never been there. I left my keys on the kitchen counter. Closed the door. Done. My brother helped me unpack at his place, set up the guest room, stack boxes in the garage, try to figure out what came next. You going to be okay? Eventually. What about the accounts? Lawyers handling it. Should be frozen by end of day. She's going to be pissed when she finds out. Probably. Don't care. She called that afternoon. I was expecting it. Didn't answer. She called again. Then again. Left voicemails. What did you do to our accounts? I can't access anything. Call me back. This is serious. You can't just freeze everything without telling me. I texted back, lawyer advised protecting joint assets during separation. If you want to discuss splitting them, have your lawyer contact mine. She called immediately. I answered this time. You froze our accounts? Our lawyer did. Standard procedure during a separation. You didn't even tell me. You didn't tell me you were announcing a separation at your parents' party. Guess we're even. This is different. No, it's not. You made a unilateral decision about our relationship. I made a unilateral decision about our finances. Same thing. I need access to that money. Then work with the lawyers to divide it fairly. Pretty simple. You're being vindictive. I'm being protective. Big difference. I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe you announced you wanted a separation in front of 50 people. But here we are. She hung up, called back 10 minutes later. Calmer. Can we please talk about this like adults? I thought that's what we were doing. No, you're punishing me. I'm protecting myself. You wanted space, you got it. But that doesn't mean you get unlimited access to joint funds while you figure out your life. What am I supposed to do for money? You have a job, use your paycheck. That's not enough. Then get a better job. Or ask the gym guy. He's so successful and ambitious. Maybe he can help. Silence. Then, this is really what you want? What I wanted was a partnership, a marriage, a future. You're the one who decided that wasn't enough. So yeah, this is what I want now. Protection, distance, clarity. Fine. My lawyer will contact yours. She hung up, didn't call back. Update 3. Her parents called on Wednesday. Her father. I debated not answering, decided to get it over with. Hello? Son, we need to talk. I'm not your son, not anymore. Fair enough, but we still need to talk. Can you come by the house? Why? Because my daughter is upset and confused and I'm trying to understand what happened. What happened is she publicly humiliated me and now there are consequences. That's what happened. There's more to it than that. Is there? From where I'm standing, she announced a separation in front of everyone. I moved out like she wanted and now she's upset that I protected myself financially. What am I missing? Her perspective. I don't care about her perspective. She didn't care about mine when she blindsided me at your party. That's fair. But will you at least come talk to us? Her mother's upset. We're trying to help. I sighed. Fine. When? Tonight? 7? I'll be there. I showed up at 6:55. Her mother answered the door, looked like she'd been crying. Thank you for coming. Sure. They led me to the living room. Same room where she'd announced the separation 5 days ago. Felt like a lifetime. Her father poured coffee. Her mother sat wringing her hands. I stayed standing. Where's your daughter? At her sister's. We wanted to talk to you first. About? Her mother spoke. About what really happened. About why she said what she said. She told me why. She wants more, bigger, better, ambitious. I'm apparently not enough. That's not what she told us. Then what did she tell you? Her father leaned forward. She told us she's been having doubts for months. That she loves you, but she's not sure she's in love with you. That she met someone who made her question everything. The gym guy. Yes. But she says nothing physical happened. Just emotional, much better. Her mother flinched. She made a mistake. She realizes that now. Now, after I moved out. After I protected our accounts. After facing actual consequences. Now, she realizes. She's young. She panicked. She's 31. That's not young. That's old enough to know you don't humiliate your fiancé in front of your entire family because you're having doubts. Her father nodded slowly. You're right. What she did was wrong. We told her that. Good. Glad we agree. But she's our daughter. We love her. We want to help her fix this. There's nothing to fix. She made her choice. What if she wants to undo it? I looked at them both. Then she should have thought about that before she did it. You don't get to blow up someone's life and then act surprised when they don't stick around to help you clean up the mess. Her mother started crying. Please, just talk to her. Hear her out. Why? So she can tell me she made a mistake? So she can promise she's sorry? So she can ask for another chance? Yes, exactly that. No. Why not? Because even if I believed her, which I don't, I'd never be able to trust her again. Every time she was late coming home, I'd wonder if she was with him. Every time she went to the gym, I'd wonder if she was meeting him. Every time she seemed distant, I'd wonder if she was having doubts again. That's not a marriage. That's a prison. Her father rubbed his face. So that's it? 3 years and you're just done? 3 years and she's the one who decided to be done. I'm just respecting her decision. I stood up. Thanks for the coffee, but I need to go. Her mother followed me to the door. Please reconsider. She loves you. Maybe, but not enough. And I'm done being someone's backup plan while they figure out if they can do better. I left, drove back to my brother's, felt hollow, not angry anymore, just empty. Update 4. Friday morning, my fiancée showed up at my brother's house, 8 a.m. I was having coffee when the doorbell rang. My brother answered. She's here. Tell her to leave. I think you should talk to her. I don't. Just 5 minutes. Then I'll make her leave if you want. I sighed. Went to the door. She was standing there looking exhausted, eyes red, wearing sweatpants and my old college hoodie. Can we talk? You have 5 minutes. Can I come in? No. Say what you need to say. She took a shaky breath. I made a mistake. A huge, terrible mistake. I panicked. I thought I wanted something different and I was wrong. Okay. Okay, that's it? What do you want me to say? That I forgive you? That we can start over? We can't. Why not? Because you destroyed my trust. You humiliated me. You chose the worst possible way to tell me you were unhappy. And now you want me to just forget it because you changed your mind? I don't want you to forget it. I want you to forgive it. Can't do that. Why? Because forgiveness requires trust. And I don't trust you anymore. She started crying. I love you. I know I messed up, but I love you. You love the idea of security. You love not being alone. But you don't love me. If you did, you wouldn't have been able to stand in front of everyone and announce you wanted out. That's not fair. None of this is fair, but it's true. What about the wedding? What about everything we planned? Cancel it. I already told you that. Contact the vendors. Get whatever refunds you can. Move on. I don't want to move on. Should have thought of that on New Year's Eve. She reached into her coat pocket, pulled out her engagement ring, my grandmother's ring that I'd given her when I proposed. I want you to have this back. I took it, looked at it. 3 generations of my family had worn this ring. Now it was just a symbol of something that died in a living room on New Year's Eve. Thank you. That's it? Thank you? What else do you want me to say? That you'll think about it. That maybe in a few months we can try again. No. Please. I'm begging you. You made your choice. I'm making mine. We're done. She stood there for another minute, crying, waiting for me to change my mind. I didn't. Finally, she turned and walked to her car, drove away. I went back inside. My brother was in the kitchen. That was rough. Yeah. You okay? I will be. I looked at the ring in my hand. My grandmother's ring. She'd worn it for 50 years. My mother had worn it for 30. My fiancé had worn it for 9 months. I put it in a box, locked it away. Maybe someday I'd give it to someone who actually meant it when they said yes. Final update. It's been 3 months. The wedding is officially canceled. Lost about $15,000 in deposits. Split it with her parents. They insisted on paying their share even though I told them they didn't have to. Her mother sent me a card last week, apologizing, saying they missed me, saying they'd always considered me family. I didn't respond. Not because I'm angry, just because there's nothing to say. My ex-fiancée tried to reach out twice, once through her sister, once through a mutual friend, both times asking if I'd be willing to talk. Both times I said no. I found out through friends that she and the gym guy dated for about a month after we split. Turns out he wasn't as interested once she was actually available. He was the kind of guy who liked the chase. Once there was no challenge, he lost interest. She's apparently miserable. Her sister told my brother, who told me. She regrets everything. Wishes she could take it back. Knows she destroyed the best thing in her life. Part of me feels bad for her. Small part. The rest of me remembers standing in that living room surrounded by her family while she announced she was leaving me. Remembers packing up 3 years of my life into 14 boxes. Remembers sleeping on my brother's couch because I didn't have anywhere else to go. I'm in my own apartment now. Small place, 1 bedroom. But it's mine. No shared accounts, no joint lease. No wondering if the person I'm building a life with is going to decide it's not enough. I'm not dating, not ready, maybe not for a while, but I'm okay with that. The ring is still in its box. Maybe I'll pass it to my brother if he ever proposes to his girlfriend. Or maybe I'll save it for a niece or nephew someday. Either way, it won't go to someone who thinks love is a backup plan. My quiet call that New Year's night protected me. Not just financially, emotionally. It was the moment I decided I was worth more than being someone's safety net while they looked for something better. She reached into her coat that night weeks later and pulled out a ring she no longer had the right to wear. The look on her face told her something had changed. But it wasn't the ring or the accounts or the apartment. It was me. I'd changed. Finally learned that the worst thing you can do is let someone treat you like an option while you treat them like a priority. My fiancé texted, "I asked a lawyer if your savings automatically become mine after we get married." I replied, "Good thinking." Then I called my dad, explained everything, and had my account temporarily moved into a trust. When her lawyer relayed the news, she panicked and tried to undo what she had set in motion. My name is Jason. I'm 31, and I work as a senior financial analyst for a tech company in Austin. I make around $165,000 a year, but that's not what this story is about. It's about the $340,000 I have saved up, money I've been carefully accumulating since I was 22 through disciplined saving, smart investments, and living below my means. I drive a 6-year-old Toyota Camry, rent a modest 2-bedroom apartment, and pack my lunch 4 days a week. I'm not cheap, I'm strategic. I'd been with my fiancée Rachel for 2.5 years. We met at a friend's wedding in early 2022. She was a bridesmaid, I was a groomsman, and we hit it off immediately. She worked in marketing for a mid-sized firm, made about $68,000, and seemed like someone who had her life together. We moved in together after a year, got engaged 6 months ago, and were planning a wedding for next June. Everything seemed fine until 3 weeks ago. It was a Tuesday afternoon, November 5th. I was in back-to-back meetings all day, barely had time to check my phone. Around 3:45 p.m. during a 5-minute break, I glanced at my messages and saw one from Rachel that made my blood run cold. Rachel: "Hey babe, random question, but I asked a lawyer friend if your savings automatically become mine after we get married. She said it depends on the state and when the money was earned. Interesting stuff." I stared at that message for a solid 30 seconds. The casual tone, the smiley emoji, like she was asking about dinner plans instead of inquiring about legal access to money I'd spent nearly a decade building. I didn't respond immediately. I went back into my meeting, but I couldn't focus. My mind was racing. Why would she ask that? Why would she phrase it that way? And why would she tell me she asked? When I got home that evening around 6:30 p.m., Rachel was in the kitchen making pasta. She greeted me with a kiss, like nothing was wrong. "How was your day?" she asked, stirring sauce. "Good. Busy. Got your text." "Oh, yeah?" She didn't even look up. "Just curious about how all that works. You know, For planning purposes. Planning purposes? I repeated. Yeah, like we should probably know what's ours together and what's separate, right? For the future. I set my bag down. Rachel, that money in my savings, I earned all of it before we even met. It's not marital property. She turned around, wooden spoon in hand. I know that. I'm not trying to take your money, Jason. I was just asking a question. But why ask a lawyer? Why not ask me? She shrugged. Because I wanted an objective answer, not an emotional one. You're so touchy about money. I'm not touchy about money. I'm careful with money. There's a difference. See? Touchy. She turned back to the stove. I didn't push it further that night, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The way she phrased that text. Become mine, not become ours. Mine. The next morning, Wednesday, I did something I'm not proud of. I checked our shared laptop while Rachel was in the shower. I went through her recent browser history. I know, invasion of privacy. But that text had triggered every alarm bell in my head. What I found made everything worse. She'd been researching marriage and asset division extensively, multiple Google searches. Does premarital savings become marital property? How to protect assets in divorce? Can I claim half of spouse's savings? Prenup loopholes? Then I found an email draft in her Gmail that she hadn't sent yet. It was to her friend Michelle, dated the day before her text to me. Michelle, I talked to Laura, the lawyer, about Jason's savings. She said that in Texas, anything earned before marriage usually stays separate unless it gets commingled with marital funds. So I'm thinking after we get married, I suggest we combine everything into joint accounts for simplicity. Once it's mixed together, it becomes community property. He's so trusting, I don't think he'll question it. I'm not trying to be shady, but he makes way more than me, and it's not fair that he has this cushion while I'm barely saving anything. We're going to be married. What's his should be ours, right? I read that email 3 times. My hands were shaking. She wasn't asking about asset division for innocent planning purposes. She was strategizing how to legally claim money I'd earned before I even knew she existed. I closed the laptop, went to work, and spent the entire day thinking. By the time I got home that evening, I'd made my decision. Update 1. Thursday morning. I texted Rachel back as if nothing was wrong. Me. Hey, thought more about your question yesterday. You're right. Good thinking to understand how all that works. Smart to plan ahead. Rachel. Right? I knew you'd get it once you thought about it. Love you. That afternoon, I called my dad. My father is a retired estate attorney who spent 40 years helping people protect their assets. If anyone would know what to do, it was him. Dad, I need your help with something. It's about Rachel. I explained everything. The text, the browser history, the email draft. He listened without interrupting, which is how I knew he was taking it seriously. When I finished, he was quiet for a moment. Then he said, Son, I'm going to ask you a question, and I need you to be honest. Do you still want to marry this woman? I don't know, I admitted. But I know I need to protect myself while I figure it out. Smart. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to move your savings into an irrevocable trust, temporarily. I'll set it up as the trustee. The money will be completely separate from any marital property, protected from any claims. It's perfectly legal, and it's exactly what I'd advise any client in your situation. How fast can we do this? I can have the paperwork ready by tomorrow afternoon. You'll need to come to Dallas to sign everything and transfer the funds, but once it's done, that money is locked down. Friday, I took a personal day from work and drove the 3 hours to Dallas. My dad had everything ready. We spent 2 hours at his office going through paperwork, and by 3 p.m., all $340,000 was transferred into a trust with my father as trustee. I was the beneficiary, but the funds were legally separated from my personal assets. This is temporary, right? I asked as we finished. It can be dissolved whenever you want, Dad said. But Jason, I have to say this. If you're having these doubts, maybe you should reconsider the wedding entirely. I know. I just need time to think. When I got back to Austin Friday evening, Rachel was already home, watching TV. "Where were you all day?" she asked. "You didn't answer my texts. Had to run to Dallas for family stuff. My dad needed help with some paperwork." "Is everything okay?" "Yeah, all good. Just boring legal stuff." She seemed satisfied with that answer and went back to her show. Update 2. The weekend passed normally. We ran errands Saturday, met friends for brunch Sunday. Rachel didn't mention the lawyer question again, and I didn't bring it up. But I was watching her differently now, noticing things I'd ignored before. How she always suggested splitting bills equally on her subscriptions, but expected me to cover the bigger expenses. How she'd casually mentioned wanting to upgrade to a bigger apartment, in my name, with my credit, but split the rent. How she'd been pushing for a joint bank account to make things easier. Monday morning, November 11th, everything came to a head. I was at my desk when my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. "Is this Jason Matthews?" "Yes, who's this?" "My name is Laura Chen. I'm an attorney and a friend of Rachel's. I'm calling because she asked me to look into some financial questions regarding your upcoming marriage, and I've discovered something concerning." My stomach dropped. "What's that?" "Well, Rachel mentioned you have substantial premarital savings, around $340,000. She wanted to understand her legal rights to those funds after marriage. However, in doing some routine verification, I discovered that as of Friday, those funds were transferred into an irrevocable trust. Is that correct?" I smiled, even though she couldn't see me. "That's correct." Silence on the other end. Then, "I see. Was Rachel aware you were doing this?" "No." "Is there a legal reason she should have been?" "No, of course not. It's your money. Rachel was under the impression that she would have access to those funds after marriage, potentially for joint investments or a home purchase. This changes things significantly." "I'm sure it does," I said calmly. "Is there anything else I can help you with?" "No, that's all. Thank you for your time." She hung up. I sat there for a moment, then my phone started buzzing. Rachel. I let it ring. She called again, and again. Finally, a text. "Jason, call me right now." I waited 10 minutes, then called her back. "What did you do?" she shouted the second she answered. "I protected my assets. The same thing your lawyer friend just confirmed I have every legal right to do." "You moved all your money into a trust? Without telling me?" "Rachel, we're not married yet. It's my money. Why would I need to tell you?" "Because we're engaged. Because we're supposed to be building a life together." "Building a life together doesn't mean you get automatic access to money I saved before I even knew you existed. Laura said you put it in an irrevocable trust. Do you know what that means? It means you can't even access it easily yourself." "Actually, that's not entirely accurate, but I appreciate your concern." She was breathing hard on the other end. "Why would you do this? Don't you trust me?" "Do you trust me?" I countered. "Because it seems like you were planning to suggest we combine all our accounts after the wedding so my premarital savings would become community property? That's what the email draft to Michelle says anyway." Dead silence. "You went through my emails? You consulted a lawyer about how to claim my money without telling me. Let's call it even." "Jason, that's not... I wasn't trying to... What were you trying to do, Rachel?" "Explain it to me." More silence. Then, quietly, "I just think it's unfair that you have all this money and I don't. We're supposed to be partners." "Partners, yes. But that doesn't mean you're entitled to money I earned through years of sacrifice and discipline before we were together. If you wanted to build savings, you had the same opportunity I did. I don't make as much as you. You make $68,000 a year. That's a good salary. Where does your money go?" She didn't answer. "Rachel, Do you actually want to marry me, or do you want to marry my bank account? How can you even ask me that? Because you asked a lawyer if my savings become yours after marriage? Not ours. Yours. She started crying. I love you. I'm sorry. I was just scared about money, and I made a stupid mistake asking Laura. Can we please just talk about this in person? I don't think there's anything to talk about, I said. I think we should postpone the wedding. Postpone? Jason, no. I need time to think, and you clearly need time to figure out what you actually want from this relationship. I hung up. Update 3. Rachel showed up at my apartment that night. I'd changed the locks the day before, something I'd been meaning to do anyway since we'd both had keys, but it was my lease. She knocked for 10 minutes before finally calling me. I'm outside. Please let me in. We need to talk. I don't think that's a good idea right now. Jason, I'm not leaving until we talk. I'll stand out here all night if I have to. I sighed and went downstairs to the building entrance. She was standing there in sweatpants and a hoodie, makeup free, eyes red from crying. Can we go upstairs? She asked. No, we can talk here. Seriously? Yes. She looked around at the empty lobby. Fine. Jason, I'm sorry. I know what I did looks bad. It doesn't look bad, Rachel. It is bad. I was scared. I make less than half what you make, and I've got student loans and credit card debt, and you're just sitting on $340,000 like it's nothing. I panicked and made a stupid mistake. You didn't panic. You strategized. There's a difference. What do you want me to say? That I'm a gold digger? I'm not. I love you. I just wanted some financial security. At my expense. We're supposed to be getting married. Your security is my security. No, Rachel. My security is my security. Your security should be something you build for yourself. She wiped her eyes. So what, you're just going to end our engagement over this? I'm going to postpone it. I need to figure out if you actually love me or if you love what you thought you'd have access to. That's not fair. Neither is consulting a lawyer behind my back about how to claim my premarital assets. She stared at me for a long moment. What if I sign a prenup? Would that fix this? I don't know. Maybe. But right now, I don't trust you. Please don't do this, she whispered. I made a mistake. People make mistakes. I know they do. And I need time to figure out if this is a mistake I can get past. She nodded slowly, tears streaming down her face. Can I at least get some of my stuff from the apartment? I boxed everything up. It's in the storage unit downstairs. I'll text you the code. You already packed my stuff? I wanted to be prepared for this conversation. She looked at me like I was a stranger. You really have this all figured out, don't you? I'm protecting myself. Same thing you were trying to do. She left without another word. Final update. It's been 5 weeks since that conversation. Rachel and I have had no contact except for one email exchange where she asked about splitting up the wedding deposits. I told her to keep whatever she'd paid for and I'd handle what I'd paid for. The venue was in my name and they refunded 60% of the deposit since we canceled more than 6 months out. I dissolved the trust 2 weeks ago. The money's back in my personal accounts, but this time I'm keeping it in separate, carefully documented premarital accounts. If I ever get married, there will be an ironclad prenup. Rachel, from what I've heard through mutual friends, has been telling people I trapped her and wasted her time. She's apparently dating someone new already, a guy who works in private equity and drives a Tesla. Good for her. I hope she's honest with him about her intentions. As for me, I'm doing fine. Better than fine, actually. I've been reflecting on red flags I ignored. How she always wanted to go to expensive restaurants on my dime. How she'd forget her wallet when we went shopping. How she pushed for me to upgrade my car and apartment. I thought she just had expensive taste. Now I realize she had expensive expectations for my money. I'm not bitter. I'm grateful. Better to learn this before the wedding than after. Better to lose some deposits than half my assets in a divorce. My dad called yesterday to check in. You did the right thing, son. I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dad. Sorry I didn't see it sooner. Sometimes we don't see things because we don't want to. You saw it when it mattered. That's what counts. I've started dating again, casually, nothing serious. I'm upfront now about finances and expectations. If that makes me cynical, so be it. Edit 1. A lot of people are asking if I feel bad for going through her emails. Honestly, number. That email confirmed exactly what her intentions were. Sometimes you have to verify your gut feeling. Edit 2. For those saying I overreacted, she literally consulted a lawyer about how to get access to my premarital savings and planned to trick me into commingling funds. That's not overreacting. That's responding appropriately to a calculated betrayal. Edit 3. Someone asked what happened to the engagement ring. I returned it and got 70% of what I paid. Used that money to take my parents on a vacation. Best investment I've made all year. Edit 4. Yes, my dad is the MVP of this story. Retired estate attorneys make excellent life advisors. 10 out of 10 would recommend. My fiancée said, I need some space to think. I calmly replied, take all the time you need. Months later, she sent me a message. I wish I hadn't done what I did. I answered, you won't find me the same anymore. Then she sent a photo, and it left me completely stunned. I'm 35 years old, and 8 months ago I was engaged to someone I thought was my forever person. Claire and I had been together for 5 years, engaged for 1. We'd met through mutual friends at a dinner party, and the connection was instant. She was smart, ambitious, beautiful. I thought I'd won the lottery. Last March, things started feeling off. Claire was distant, always on her phone, working late more often. When I'd ask about her day, she'd give me one-word answers. When I'd try to plan dates, she'd say she was too tired. The wedding was supposed to be in September, but every time I brought up planning details, she'd change the subject. Then one Tuesday evening, she came home from work and sat down across from me at our kitchen table. I was making dinner, pasta, her favorite. She had this look on her face, determined but guilty. We need to talk, she said. I turned off the stove, sat down. What's going on? I need some space to think, she said, not meeting my eyes. Space to think about what? About us. About the wedding. About whether this is what I really want. I felt my stomach drop, but I kept my voice steady. What brought this on? I don't know. I've just been feeling suffocated. Like my life is on this predetermined track, and I never stop to ask if it's what I actually want. Have I done something wrong? No. It's not about you. It's about me. I need time to figure out what I want without the pressure of you being here, asking me about it every day. I sat there for a moment, processing. How much space are we talking about? I think I should move out for a while. Stay with my sister, just until I figure things out. And what about the wedding? We should postpone it. Tell people we're delaying, not canceling. Just putting things on hold. Every instinct told me to fight this, to demand answers, to refuse to let her just walk away. But something in her face told me that would only push her further away. All right, I said calmly. Take all the time you need. She looked surprised. You're not going to argue? If you need space to figure things out, then you need it. I can't force you to want this. She actually looked disappointed, like she'd wanted me to fight for her. But she nodded. Thank you for understanding. She packed a bag that night. Took enough clothes for a week. Said she'd come back for more later. Kissed my cheek on the way out. It felt like goodbye. Update 1. The first week was brutal. I called in sick to work twice. Couldn't sleep, barely ate. Claire texted me every few days, short messages. Just checking in. Hope you're doing okay. Still thinking things through. I kept my responses brief. I'm fine. Take your time. Week 2, my best friend Ryan came over, found me on the couch in sweatpants, beard growing out, apartment a mess. Dude, you look like hell, he said. Feel like it too. Have you talked to her? Like actually talked? She texts every few days, says she's still thinking. And you're just waiting? What else am I supposed to do? Ryan sat down. Man, I'm going to be real with you. This isn't about needing space to think. Nobody who's genuinely in love with someone needs to move out to figure that out. Something else is going on. Like what? Like there might be someone else? I'd thought about it, of course, but hearing it out loud made it real. I don't know. Do you want to know? I thought about it. Did I? Maybe not yet. Ryan spent the rest of the day helping me clean up, got me to shower, shave, eat actual food. Look, he said before leaving, whether she comes back or not, you need to start living again. Don't put your life on hold for someone who couldn't even give you a real reason for leaving. He was right. So the next day, I went back to work, started going to the gym again, called my brother, made plans to visit him, started doing things I'd put off during the relationship. Week 3, Claire texted asking if she could come by to get more clothes. I told her when I'd be at work, said she could use her key, came home to find half her closet empty, her toiletries gone from the bathroom. It felt final. Week 4, I saw on Instagram that Claire was at a beach somewhere, posted a photo of herself in a sundress, sunset in the background. Caption, finding myself. 43 likes. Comments from her friends, you look amazing, living your best life. I unfollowed her. Update 2 month 2, I stopped waiting. Packed up the rest of Claire's things, carefully, neatly, and put them in boxes in the spare bedroom. Took off the engagement ring I'd been wearing and put it in a drawer. Told my family the wedding was off, not postponed. They were supportive, said they'd always thought Claire was a bit selfish anyway. I started seeing a therapist. Dr. Martinez, twice a week at first, then once a week. She helped me understand that Claire's need for space was really just a coward's way of ending things without actually ending them, keeping me on standby while she explored whatever else was out there. You deserve someone who's sure about you, Dr. Martinez said, not someone who needs space to decide if you're worth it. Month 3, Ryan's girlfriend Sophie introduced me to her friend Emma. Just coffee, Sophie said. No pressure, she's cool, you'll like her. I wasn't ready for anything serious, but I went. Emma was a graphic designer, funny, easy to talk to. We had coffee, then dinner the next week, then started seeing each other casually. Nothing serious, both of us clear about that. But it felt good to remember that other people existed. Month 4, Claire finally texted me. Can we talk? I think I'm ready. I looked at the message for a long time, thought about what I'd say to her, thought about whether I even wanted to hear what she had to say. Then I replied, I'm not sure there's anything left to talk about. She called immediately. I let it go to voicemail. She called 3 more times that day. Finally, I answered. Why won't you talk to me? She asked. She sounded upset, almost angry. Because you left 4 months ago to think, and I've moved on with my life. Moved on? What does that mean? It means I'm not sitting around waiting for you to decide if I'm good enough. That's not fair. I just needed time. 4 months, Claire. You took 4 months. And in all that time, you never once asked to actually sit down and talk. You never once tried to work through whatever you were feeling. You just left. I'm ready now. Good for you. I'm not. Are you seeing someone else? Her voice got sharp. That's none of your business anymore. So you are. Wow. I guess I really don't matter to you. I actually laughed. You're the one who left to find yourself. I just stopped waiting for you to come back. She hung up. Update 3 month 5. Claire showed up at my apartment. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. I was getting ready to go hiking with Emma when the doorbell rang. Claire looked different. Thinner, hair shorter, tired eyes. "Hi," she said. "What are you doing here?" "I needed to see you. Can we talk?" "I have plans. Please, just 15 minutes. I glanced at my watch. Emma was picking me up in 30 minutes. Fine. 15 minutes. We sat in the living room. She looked around, noticed things had changed. New throw pillows Emma had picked out, a plant I'd bought, photos of me with Ryan and Emma's friend group at a concert. "You've redecorated," Claire said. "You've been gone 5 months. Life doesn't stop." "I made a mistake," she said, and her eyes were filling with tears. "Leaving. Asking for space. All of it. I was scared of commitment and I ran away. But I've been miserable without you." "What changed?" She looked down. "I was seeing someone. For a few weeks. It didn't work out. Made me realize what I had with you. There it was. The truth. So you needed to date someone else to realize you wanted me? I know how it sounds. It sounds like you kept me on the back burner while you tested other options. And now that it didn't work out, you're back. That's not what happened. That's exactly what happened. You didn't need space to think, Claire. You needed space to be with someone else without officially breaking up with me first. And now that he didn't work out, you're hoping I'll still be here, waiting. I love you, she said desperately. You love the idea of me. The security. The backup plan. But you don't actually love me, because if you did, you never would have left in the first place. The doorbell rang. Emma. Claire looked toward the door. I should go, I said, standing up. Is that her? That's none of your business. I wish I hadn't done what I did, Claire said, tears streaming down her face now. I wish I could take it all back. So do I said. But you can't. Your stuff is in boxes in the spare room. You can come get it next week when I'm at work. Leave your key when you go. I walked past her and opened the door. Emma smiled at me, then saw Claire, and her smile faltered slightly. Ready? Emma asked. Yeah, I said. Let's go. Claire was still sitting on the couch when I closed the door. Update 4-month 6, Claire texted me constantly. Long messages about how sorry she was, how she'd made a terrible mistake, how she wanted to try again. I didn't respond to most of them. When I did, it was brief. I've moved on. We're done. Please stop contacting me. Her friends started reaching out. Her sister called me, said Claire was depressed, not eating, couldn't sleep, that she really did love me and had just gotten scared. Then she should have talked to me about it, I said, not run away for 5 months. She knows that now. Good. Hopefully, she learns from it. Month 7, Emma and I had the relationship talk. Decided to be exclusive. She was everything Claire wasn't. Present, honest, communicative. When she had doubts or worries, she talked to me about them. We worked through things together. I told Emma everything about Claire. She listened, didn't judge, just said, sounds like you dodged a bullet. I loved her though, part of me still does. I get that. But love isn't enough if the other person isn't all in. You deserve someone who's sure about you. It was almost word for word what Dr. Martinez had said. Month 8, last week, Claire sent me another message. I wish I hadn't done what I did. I replied, you won't find me the same anymore. There was a long pause. Then she sent a photo. It was a picture of a positive pregnancy test. I stared at my phone, feeling like I'd been punched in the stomach. Called her immediately. Is this real? I demanded when she answered. Yes. When? About 7 weeks. I did the math. That would have been right around when she came to my apartment. Who's the father? Long silence. Then, the guy I was seeing. Marcus. Does he know? Yes. He wants nothing to do with it. Blocked me on everything. I felt this surge of emotion, anger, pity, satisfaction, guilt, all mixed together. Why are you telling me this? Because I don't know what to do. I'm scared, and you're the only person who ever really took care of me. Claire, I'm not your safety net. I know. I thought you should know. Why? We're not together. This isn't my problem. I know it's not your responsibility. I just wanted to tell you, and I wanted you to know that I'm keeping it. I'm going to do this alone if I have to. Good luck with that. Do you hate me? She asked quietly. I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I don't hate you, but I don't love you anymore either. You're just someone I used to know who made bad decisions, and now you're dealing with the consequences. I deserve that. Yeah, you do. I hung up. Final update. It's been 2 weeks since Claire told me about the pregnancy. She's texted a few more times, updates I didn't ask for. She's moving back in with her parents. Marcus still won't talk to her. She's trying to figure out single motherhood. I haven't responded. Deleted her number yesterday. Emma knows about the pregnancy. I told her the same night. She held my hand and asked how I felt about it. Honestly, nothing. It's sad, but it's not my problem. Do you feel guilty? For what? For not helping her? No, she made her choices. She wanted space. She got space. She wanted to see what else was out there. She found out. She wanted to keep me as a backup plan. I refused. None of this is my fault. Emma nodded. Good. Just checking. My brother called last night. He'd heard from Claire's sister that Claire was pregnant and struggling. Asked if I was going to help her. No. That's cold, man. Is it? She left me to sleep with another guy. Got pregnant. Now wants me to, what? Play daddy to another man's kid? Be her emotional support while she figures out her mess? When you put it like that, there's no other way to put it. Ryan came over yesterday. We sat on my balcony drinking beer, watching the sunset. You doing okay? He asked. Yeah, actually I am. No regrets? About what? Not taking Claire back when she realized she made a mistake? No regrets at all. You're different now, Ryan observed. More, I don't know, solid. I stopped waiting for someone else to decide I was worth it. Turns out that changes everything. Emma's coming over tonight. We're cooking dinner together, then watching some documentary she's been wanting to see. Simple, easy, comfortable. No drama, no games, no wondering if she's going to wake up one day and decide she needs space. Claire texted this morning. I see you're with someone new. She's pretty. I hope you're happy. I didn't respond, blocked her number, deleted the conversation, closed that chapter for good. I ran into her sister at the grocery store this afternoon. She stopped me in the cereal aisle. Claire's really struggling, she said. She made mistakes, but she's paying for them now. Maybe you could just call her? Check in? No. That's it? Just no? She wanted space. I gave it to her. She wanted to explore other options. I let her. She wanted me to wait around while she figured her life out. I didn't. I don't owe her anything. She's pregnant and alone, and that's terrible. But it's not my responsibility. She's an adult who made adult decisions. Now she gets adult consequences. Her sister shook her head. I always thought you were a good guy. I am a good guy. Just not to people who treat me like a backup plan. I paid for my groceries and left. This evening I'm sitting here thinking about the last 8 months. How devastated I was when Claire left. How I thought my life was over. How I couldn't imagine being happy without her. And now, I'm happier than I've been in years. Emma's amazing. My life is peaceful. I wake up every day not wondering if today's the day my partner decides she needs space or wants to find herself or whatever excuse people use when they're too cowardly to just end things honestly. Claire sent one last text before I blocked her. Just 3 words. I miss you. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. Edit 1. Some people are asking if I feel bad about not helping Claire with the pregnancy. Short answer, no. She's not my girlfriend, fiancée, or wife. The baby isn't mine. She chose to keep it knowing the father wants nothing to do with it. Those are all her choices. I'm not obligated to bail her out just because we used to date. Edit 2. To clarify the timeline. Claire left in March, asking for space. Admitted in July she'd been seeing someone else for a few weeks, which means she probably started seeing him in May or June while still texting me about thinking things through, got pregnant around September, and told me about it in November. So yeah, I'd completely moved on by the time she tried to drop this on me.